Hope my screen is visible. Someone can reply for me. Is my screen visible, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, good afternoon. Moving on to the control statements. As we saw in our previous class, as in a recap, we had dealt with selection statements, that is if else, nested if, some example programs followed with an assignment. So the agenda for today's class is, again we are dealing with selection statements, that is if else if statement. Okay, so if else if statement is sometimes also called as if else if ladder, if else ladder. Okay, so that is all the same. Then followed with switch statement and the example programs, and followed with the assignment. Okay, so moving on to the control statements, as we saw, there are three types. So we are dealing with the selection statements. You can just see there the flow chart of it. So let us see about if else if statement. So you can now just see, if I take a simple if else, right? So there are only two branches. You can see, if the condition is evaluated to true, it will execute the if block. Else, if it is false, it will execute the else block. There are only two branches. But this if else if will facilitate for me to execute or have multiple branches, out of which one of the branch will be executed. Multiple branches I will have. Okay, so can be used to execute, as I said, one block of code among multiple other blocks. So we have multiple branches, right? That means to say I have multiple conditions, out of which one of the condition will turn to be true, or none of the conditions turn to be of true, wherein the else block will get executed. Okay, so the general syntax of the nested if is something like this. So if the condition, the first condition I give, then the next statement I give else if. So else if, they are two separate words. They're not single word, two separate words. Then condition 2, then followed with the code block. Then else if again condition 3 followed with the code block. So like this, I can have multiple conditions, right? At the end, I can have a else block also, right? So the general syntax is something like this, and you can see how it works. So it starts from the topmost condition, right? And moves to the bottom. So how does it go? So it tests the condition, the topmost condition, that is my condition 1. If it is true, it will execute the body of the if block, right? But if this condition 1 turns to be false, it checks the condition 2. Checks again, is it true? If it is true, it will execute that respective code block, right? That respective if's code block will be executed. Again, if this is false, I'll go to condition 3. Similarly, if any of the condition respected with respect to the if block, okay, evaluates to true, that's what I tell. When the test condition is evaluated to true, the codes inside the body of that particular if block will be executed, and the program jumps outside my if else if ladder. So automatically, so for example, condition 3 is true, it will automatically come out of the if else if ladder. Are you understanding? So if all the conditions are evaluated to false, then the body of the else will be executed. Very simple as it is. So we have multiple branches, and remember, though we have multiple branches, we will be selecting again one branch only. So the flow chart is like this. You can just see. Entry point, I'll check condition 1. If it is true, that associated statement will be executed. So I just put it down here, right? So it will come out of my if else if ladder, right? If the condition 1 is false, You can observe here, it jumps to condition 2. It checks whether it is true or false. If it is true, the associated block will just execute. Okay. Similarly, it goes. You can observe here, I can have n condition. There is no restriction. I can have n condition if all the n conditions are uh, evaluated to false. You can observe here, condition 1 is false, goes to condition 2. Condition 2 is false, goes to condition 3. Similarly, condition n minus 1 is false, it goes to condition n. When condition n is also false, it will move to your statement 3. And this statement 3 is what? The statement 3 associated with your else block. Right? This is your else block. And any of the block is executed, obviously it should come out of it and execute the next statements. I hope it's clear. Right. So some examples which has been given just to tell you how condition will be evaluated with respect to if else if ladder. You can just observe or just tell me in this first example what's happening. First example, can anybody tell me what's happening? What's happening in the first example, students? Students, what's happening in the first example, which I just shared it? What's happening in this first example? First example.
Checks whether the
What's
number is greater than 0 or not.
okay? Okay. Just tell me in this example, how many conditions are there? How many conditions we have in the else if ladder? If else if ladder. How many? Two conditions. And you can observe here in the first example, my condition 1 is only evaluated to what?
True.
True. It will execute the associated block of code, and you can just see the control how it moves. See, it is true, it will execute this and automatically it will come out of my if else if ladder. Whatever is the code after if, that will be executed. Look at the second example. Can anybody tell me what is happening in the second example? What's happening in the second example? Tell me the flow. Condition 1 is evaluated to
False.
false. It goes to the next if statement, which is there in else if ladder. Right? The next if is this, if number equals to 0. What happens here? You can see
The
this
condition is evaluated to true.
equated to true. It will execute this block of code and comes out of the if. Okay. You can also observe here in this third example, what's happening? What's happening in the third example? Third example, what's happening?
False.
Yes. Condition 1 is also false and
Condition 2 is also false.
also false. So my control moves to which block?
Else block, ma'am.
Else block, and then it comes out of my that is if else if ladder. Okay. Simple example just to tell you how it works. So just for your understanding purpose. Okay. Now I think a small program is there. You can just guess me what it is trying to do. Okay. Tell me, how is it trying to do? What is it trying to do now?
Checks whether the
Checking
number
whether a
is
given number is
positive
positive or negative.
Negative. And if either the number is neither a positive or negative, definitely the number should be now what? A 0.
Zero.
A positive or a negative. So I have to check two conditions so that I arrive at the third condition. The third condition is not required for me, not very much required, but I can arrive at the else block very easily. You can just observe The first condition that I keep here is number greater to 0. If number is greater to 0, what do we understand? Number is a positive. If the condition fails here, I have an else if which tells that is the number less to 0 or checks the number is less to 0, I print it as negative. Else, if both the conditions are false, definitely I would have entered a number which is a 0. I think you can observe here what is the number that I have entered, students. What is the number that I have entered? What is the number I have entered?
0, ma'am. Else
And you
statement
can
will get
observe,
0.
yes, the else block will just get executed. Okay? So I thought I will do the largest of three numbers using else if flat, but then already it has been done. So let me give you one more task. Um, say for example, let us do this task for us. Float percentage is equal to say 72. So as you all know, there is some hope you know that yours is a grading system anyways, or if your percentage is above 70 less greater than or equal to 70, you get some grade. What is that? Which grade? Okay, distinction, we call it as distinction of students. Hope you are aware of this.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, okay. And if your percentages is greater than or equal to 60 and less than what ma 70, you get what? What do you get?
First class.
First class. Similarly, if your percentage is greater than or equal to 50 and less than 60, I get what? I am giving what? Second class. Right? Right? Else otherwise. So let me assume, not to make much complicated, otherwise something other than this I assume is just pass. Okay, uh, can we design the program for this? Can you just tell me just the conditions? If students, what should I?
Percentage is greater than or equal to 70.
If percent is greater than or equal to 70, what do? Hope my screen is visible. Sum dot out dot println. What do I print? What do I print, students? It is distinction. Yes. Okay. Next, what should I do? You can see there are several branches here. So out of which one has to be executed. It is not only two branches. So I have how many branches? 4 branches I have. What should I use? So definitely I should make use of
Else if.
the else if ladder. Okay. What should I do next, students? Else if? What should I write? What is the condition that I should write here? What should I write?
Percent greater or equal to 60.
Percent is greater than or equal to 60
And
and so I should use preferably short circuit. Percentage is less than 70. Yes, or is it sufficient if I write if percentage greater than or equal to 60? Should I write this? Or is it sufficient if I write this? Students, Should I need both the conditions, or is it sufficient if I write this?
Both are
We need
required, ma'am.
both are
Both are
required.
required. Both are required. Okay, let's see. Both are required, you are telling? Okay, let me check what will happen if I keep only one. Okay. So, message is now the first class. I'll just put FC. And what is the next condition that I give? Again, what do I give?
else if
Else if percentage is greater than 50, then less than 60, I give it as second class. Okay. Then what do I end up with?
else
Else. Else what? What's the condition? Should I print else? Else what should I print? Else I will be printing pass. Okay. Fine. Okay, let us execute. Do we get the right answer? So we should get distinction to be our right answer there. Yes, so we are getting distinction. No problem. Okay. Let me give 62. So 62 means I should get what?
First class.
First class. Let me run and show for us. Yes, so I get FC. Okay. Okay, so we give 52. So we have to get the answer as second class. Yes, we are getting a C, that is the second class. And then apart from that, if I give any value less than that, I will get this pass. So once again, 42 if I give, I get pass. Yes, so you are getting the pass. Is that clear? So you can just see I have totally 4 branches. So out of which one of the branch will be selected based on my condition, right? Uh, you can just observe. Actually, practically speaking, I'll just remove this, the second one. I'll give 62. Okay. Will I not get the answer? What will I get the answer here? Students, I'm getting, no? If say I'm getting first class. I removed the second condition. Yes or no, students? Are you all there?
yes ma'am
Yes, right? You can see I am getting, not a problem. Okay. What would be the conclusion? Getting. I think the second condition was not required for me, isn't it? Okay. So for some problems, so no nothing to get panic. Or you can add even the second condition. There's no problem because once this is true, as I've used logical and, right, here second operand will also get executed and it will be true, not a problem. But then when it is required, try to give the uh, combination of expressions. If not so required, you can omit. It's better if you give, not required, you can just omit. There's nothing to get panicked. Why should I keep? Not required, you can easily omit, but you should get the right answer. That's it. Okay, I hope you are getting it. Um, I think checking the numbers are greater than num2. So based on that, you will be working, right? So moving on to the switch statement with respect to our selection statements. Even this is also a multi-way branch statement, right? Again, switch statement is also selecting one of many code blocks to be executed, right? So you might ask me, ma'am, all are the same. Yes, all are the same, but as per your requirement, you will have to use it. That's all. That's the only difference. So how does a switch work? As you all know, the switch will take up one expression, and this expression will be evaluated once. And the value of the expression will be compared with the values of each case. So there is a case associated with switch. Okay. So matching is made. Right. If there is a match, the associated block of code will be executed. Else default block will be executed. So you can just see writing when you have different conditions to be checked, you can go for if else if ladder. But if there is only one condition, based on its evaluation, you have to select some code blocks. And remember, you all know that when I are using if and all, the condition should always be evaluated to what? Evaluated to what? In if else if ladder, whatever it is, the condition should be evaluated to what?
True or false?
True or false. But the switch for me facilitates to give an expression which can evaluate to a type that is byte, short, int or char. Okay, I can have an expression which can be a byte evaluated to byte, short, int or char. So based on this, I can select the switch statement. So switch will have, you can just see the flow chart here. Switch will have one expression which will be either be evaluated to byte, short, int and char. And I'll have several cases along with the default case. So I will match. Remember, the labels of the case should be one of the value to which your expression will be evaluated. Are you understanding? Right? So it will be evaluated. So what if this conditional expression is evaluated to int, then condition the case labels, whatever you write in condition 1, condition 2, condition n, that should be of type int. That both matching should be there. Right? So if the conditional expression is evaluated to the label condition 1, then the block under the case condition 1 will be executed. So remember, you should use one break statement here. So why? I'll tell you in the next class, because I have to tell what is a break. That's the reason I'll keep it pending here. Similarly, case 2, statement block will be executed followed with a break. Similarly, we have n condition and all the things. So one of the block with the default, you have default statement. One of the block will be executed, one of the case block. Once it's executed, it will come out of the switch case and exits the program or execute whatever is there below the switch case. For understanding, remember, there is one condition which gets evaluated to byte, int, char or short, and the labels of the case should match the type of the conditional expression. If there is mismatch, then default will get executed. So you should take care. Okay. The syntax is like this: switch with the expression, open brace, you can observe here. Case, switch case, they are all keywords here. Okay. Value 1. You can observe case has labels, value 1, value 2, like that. Okay. And remember, value 1, value 2, value 3, these are all the values that will be obtained by executing or by evaluating the expression. And the data type of expression and value should be uh, same. It cannot be different. Okay. So you should give a break statement after the code, which is there under the case block, and default will be executed if none of these cases will be matched. Okay. The syntax you just remember. So I have a program here. Just observe number equals to 20, switch number. Just observe the data type of the expression and the labels. Is it the same, students, or it is different? Is it the same or it is different? What is the data type of number?
Same, ma'am, integer.
Integer. What is the data type of the labels? Labels you observe,
Integer.
it is also integer. You can observe it is some integer values, 10, 20, 30. So preferably they should be of the same data type. Now this is number, so switch number. So what will it do now? It will check for a case wherein the label is 10 or 20 or 30. So in our case number is 20, so it jumps to the label 20, case 20, and it will execute that particular block of code. So it will print 20. Suppose say I give a number called as 50 here. What will happen? What will happen? If I give 50, 50,
Not default statement, ma'am.
default case will be executed. Remember, students, you should put break. Why? I'll tell you in the next class, because break I have not told you. Right? Break, I think normal meaning you know. Break means stop, come out, break out, isn't it? So stop and come out of the switch case. That's what it means right now.
To stop the
Now,
each case, we apply break, ma'am.
yes, it will stop and comes out of the switch case. Are you understanding? Now I have one small Java program that simulates simple calculator using switch case statement. Okay, let us design simple calculator using a switch case statement. I want certain operation. Simple. Let us plus, minus, addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Okay. So let me assume I take numbers, float numbers only. So it's 10. I am not reading the numbers. Actually, you should read the numbers from the user anyways. Let us not worry about it. Okay. I will create a class for my scanner, obj, new object for the scanner class, system.in. So simulating the simple calculator here. Just observe what I'm trying to do. I want switch case statement. That's what I want. Just observe what I'm just trying to type. Okay. System dot out dot println. Enter the operation. Okay. One is for addition. I give a slash n. Two is for subtraction. I'm just giving only two. You can include even 3, 4 there. Okay, let me include that also. Possible. It is like you go to your hotel, they give you a menu, isn't it? So whatever you order, you get that. That's similar to it. Okay. So I have an int. I give the choice. So whatever you order, you will get. That's what it is. Obj dot next int. Okay. Fine. Can anybody give the code for me now? right? Two numbers are there. I have displayed the menu. Menu is what? 1 means addition, 2 means subtraction, 3 means multiplication. I'll ask the user to enter what he wants to do with those numbers, num1 and num2. Yes? Tell me, what should I write? Students, quickly. What should I write here? Are you all there? Mehnaz? Shreyas?
Switch statement.
Okay. Tell me, what should I write? Switch what?
Choice.
Choice. Okay. Guys, what are my case labels? What are my case labels?
Case 1.
Okay, very simple. Yeah, you get a menu. Menu in the hotel. They give you a menu. First one is idli. Second one is masala dosa. Whatever it is, the same thing you will get, isn't it? The same as it is. So you switch. The switch choice means you are reading what the user wants, whether he wants dosa 1, 2, 3, whatever it is. Based on that, he receives your order, and you can observe you have separate counters, isn't it? For tiffin, for breakfast you have one counter, for meals you have one counter, North Indian you have some counter, chats you will have one counter. He will give order there, that person, the waiter. Similarly here we have case labels. Okay, so case is a keyword, remember, with a space. What is my case label? What is my first case label here?
1, ma'am.
1. Give colon. Remember, you should give colon. The syntax tells you should put a colon after labeling. Okay. Then what should I do here? What is my case 1? 1 is what?
Num1 plus num2.
Num2. So I have to add it. Okay. So since I have the flexibility to declare variables at any point of my program, so I will just do this. Float res is equal to num1 plus num2. So I will store my result in a variable called res. Okay. Then give what? Then give what, students? A break statement. Yes. Yes or no? Break with a semicolon. What is my next case? Students, quickly.
2, ma'am.
Case 2. And again, just to avoid multiple declarations, what you can do is you could have declared res above only. So let me declare res also above. Okay. So let me give res here. So as you design, you can modify here. No problem. Okay. Next, what is case 3 for me? What's the next label? What is the next label, students? Case 3. What is case 3 doing for me?
Num1 divided by num2.
Oh, I think I have given multiplication. Okay. Similarly, you can also have the case 4, wherein you give division. Okay, all the 4 operators are done, right? So case 1, case 2, case 3, and the case 4. By chance, you give number 5. Number 5 is not there. So you go to a hotel, right? And you order which is not there in the menu. So definitely he will tell no, isn't it? That's a default case for me. Default is again a keyword here. So default, I'll just print a message here. System.out.println not available operation because I am doing only 4 operation, right? So I can give some message here, not available operation. This is the end of my switch. So you can observe either of case 1, case 2, case 3, case 4 or default will be executed. Yes, once your default has been executed, you can print your result, right? So you can just give a result here, or you could have printed there, but anyways, I'll just print it here. It's outside the switch statement. You all getting, students? Slight modifications we have to do. Anyways, let us see whether I'm not able to legal character. Why is it? What is the character symbol? Something wrong there. And I think 2 things are there.
Ma'am, obj.next we should give float.
Obj dot okay. Scanner class is missing. What should I do? What should
Import.
import Java
Java
dot
dot util.
util dot scanner or dot star, whatever it is within this, right? Dot println not applicable. What is that mistake that I made? Oh, Java Python syntax. Tell me, right? Arrays is not declared. Arrays might have not been initialized. Am I not reading the input from the user?
Ma'am, it is dot next float.
Oh, it's next float. Okay, sorry. Next. No, next int only. Correct. Yeah, choice is int only. No. Next int. Obj dot next int. Choice is int, right? Let me just.
You didn't declare RES, ma'am.
I've not declared RAS. I have declared now. RAS might have not been initialized. My control is not reaching here. One second. System.out.println. One second. Compatible types. Just because I think this problem with the compiler. It's not supporting me the float. Anyways, so you can observe now it is asking me to enter the operation. So I'll have to enter some operation based on it. So I enter 2. So you can observe once I enter 2, I will get num1 minus num2, that is minus 10. Yes, same wise you can execute and check. Error expected 90. Okay, double. Yes, 3 I'll give. So result is 100. Similarly, I give some other operation other than 1, 2, 3. Say I give 6. It tells me not available operation. Result is equal to 0. So you can observe that not available it is telling and also printing result is equal to 0. That's because default is executed. After executing the default, it will come out and execute whatever is there below switch. Are you understanding? Yes or no, students? Is that okay? Are you all getting? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
That was with the compiler problem. Float works, but probably that compiler did not support for me for float. Nothing else to be there. Okay. I think 1 or 2 assignments I'll post after the class. Okay. So any doubts? Any doubts you can just ask me. We are ending the session. If you have any doubts, you can just ask me, students. Otherwise, 1 or 2 I myself will post.
Ma'am,
Huh.
ma'am,
Yes.
using ternary condition is better or using if else, ma'am?
Using ternary condition will be better
Ternary operation, sorry.
if the expression is smaller, okay, and you have one statement to be executed. Okay, suppose say for example, largest of two numbers. For that it is better. A greater than B means A, B. If true A, else B. But you have set of statements to be executed. Then ternary operator is not suitable. So you should go for if else. It depends on the program that you are trying to solve, or depends on the problem that you are trying to solve, right? Returning some value means that's fine. Your ternary will work absolutely fine, right? But not executing block of code. So block of code, if you have tried means you have to use if else. Hope I have cleared your doubt.
Which
Yes,
execution, which is faster, ma'am?
both is the same
Point of
thing.
execution.
Both efficiency wise, both are same. Yeah, both are same.
Okay, ma'am.
No difference. No difference. Both are same, but usage depends on the problem. Usage depends on the problem. Execution efficiency wise, both are same. It's the same thing. Okay, but code wise, you can see the code gets reduced. That's what you can see. If you write if else for finding largest of two numbers, you will have to write 4 statements, right? If a greater than b, system dot out dot println print a, then else print b. So 4 statements you will have to write, but that 4 statements may get reduced to 1 statement. That's all, right? Your size of the code will reduce, but efficiency, the rest all is the same. Is that okay, Dheeraj?
Yes, ma'am.
Any doubts, students? Okay. How many conditions can be given in if else if ladder? Only 2 questions I have. How many conditions can be given in if else if ladder? Students, quickly. If else if ladder, how many conditions can I give?
2, ma'am.
If else if ladder. If else
How
if
much ever
ladder.
we want?
Pardon me?
How much ever we want till the
Yes,
conditions.
I can give uh, n number of conditions, not required like 1, 2. I can give n number of how much ever your program needs. You can give such number of conditions. Okay. Coming to switch, the expression of switch can be evaluated to what all types? The expression of the switch will be evaluated to what all types? 4 types I said.
Byte, short, int, or char.
Yes, int, byte, short, and char. So 4 data types. Okay. So based on that you can have. Okay. Is it compulsory that the expression data type should be same as the label data type, or it can be different? Is should be the same or different? Label.
Same.
Same.
It should be the same. It is as well as you going to a veg hotel, okay, a restaurant, and asking for a non-veg. It's like that. So there is no match there, right? So the expression data type evaluation should be uh, same to that of the labels in the case. Okay. Every case should be ended with what statement? Every case.
Break.
Break.
Okay. And labels, the syntax is case label with a ended with a
Default.
Colon.
yes, ma'am. Okay. No issues. Assignment I'll post. Try doing it. Thank you, students. Any doubts you can ask me, ma'am.